Hello, Gemini. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, Geminis. It always is. If you've been here before and you're my ride or die, you do know that I always read for the week ahead. Look, the sneak peek is out for the energy for this week, and I do a sneak peek at the beginning of every week. So this will be for the week ahead, Gemini. And if you are brand new, if you're a Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, or you are a Gemini, or you're cross-watching a Gemini, please know that you're always welcome here. And there is a subscription button down on the bottom right-hand corner should you decide to join this group of freedom fighters. That's what I see you as. One at the front of the line saying, hey, let's talk about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's talk about you, Gemini. We're doing a 9-card draw this week for everybody, and let's find out what's going on. Look, today is the January 11th portal. Today is 111, and this is a very powerful portal, a time of realignment in your purpose in your life. I've just put up a reading for that, and time for you to shed some old burdens and maybe detach from some things that you don't require. And you might be the king or the queen of detachment. I guess we'll see what goes on. Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the 5 of Wands. We've got the King of Wands. This is very interesting. Charlie, my guide, if you've never been here before, I have a guide, helps me with my clairvoyancy. I just saw a little person sitting in the pouch of the shot put. No, that's not the shot put. It's I guess it could be kind of on the shoulder of the shot put. But what I saw was, I saw what do you call those things? A slingshot. But I saw a little person sitting in the pocket of the slingshot. It feels like the universe, that's what this feels like. It feels like somebody's been holding back or is getting into the pouch here and is ready to move forward here, ready to run at something that they want, ready to find motivation. The King of Wands never gives up. The King of Wands is a master of their domain. I feel like you've harnessed fire or you've mastered fire here. And it feels like with the 5 of Wands that maybe you were in a little bit of lack, but it does feel like the 6 Wands tells me whatever you have planned, whatever you're motivated to do, whatever you're going to go after, I want to say, is something that is going to work out in a very successful way for you. But it almost feels like you're kind of pulling yourself back, looking at things from a distance before you take charge, before you charge in, right? You're also very inspired by something. The King of Wands only goes after things that motivate them through inspiration of fire, something that you see in the distance that you want to be yours. We've got the 4 of Cups. So it does feel like I feel like you're taking a moment to settle yourself, taking a moment to settle your emotions. I feel like you're almost putting your emotions aside, that you are stable in your emotions, but it's time for you to, I feel like it's slingshotted out of your comfort zone. So it is something that you're deciding to do that's taking a lot of chutzpah. I want to say it's taking a lot of energy. It's taking a lot of bravery, right? The King of Wands is quite brave. And I feel like it's something that you have to step out of your comfort zone for. And I think that's why you're sitting in the pouch here. I feel like you're like wanting to take one last look before you head forward to this thing that is going to catapult you into something new. So this is the near past energy here. Let's find out what's going on in the week ahead. We've got the Hierophant here, possibly a commitment for some of you. Some of you are on some sort of path that is yours alone, I want to say. It might be a rather traditional path, and maybe you've decided that it's something that maybe you've studied for or you've learned. It feels like it's a bunch of information that you've come to, maybe downloads you've received, but it feels like you are the subject matter expert on something, in the spiritual realm. I want to say that you've become some sort of a person who, whatever you say, impacts people. We have the 9 of Cups at the center of the read. Look, that's wish fulfillment here. So for some of you, it could definitely be that there is a commitment that you are looking forward to here. The 10 of Pentacles. This could be a commitment of maybe you're investing a large bunch of money into something, a business, possibly. It could be, this is long-term. Maybe you're setting up trust accounts for the kids or the grandkids or the nieces or nephews. It feels like whatever it is long-term. It's something that's going to be around for a while. And that's why I think that that in the past here, it feels like you were looking at it from a distance and you're ready to take charge and run in. But I think in the current moment, like that, which is next week, I feel is that this energy of the Hierophant is, wait a second, I should slow down a little bit. If I want to do the right thing and I want things to fall in alignment or in line for me to be happy and to have something that's got longevity, I think it's worth going at slowly. So I think this is motivation, fire in the belly. It's something that you really want, but I feel like you're sort of moving a little bit slower toward it here, just to make sure that you have enough knowledge to share with other people about how you got it. Because I feel like at some point you're going to have to teach people about how to get to the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. You might even be someone who's going to be a life coach, or someone who's going to be teaching doctrines or teaching spiritualism. We've got the 2 of Swords in the reverse. This decision has already been made. You might be going from a life of the King of Wands, where it's sort of, fiery, running at things, very passionate, to the life of the Hierophant, which is a little bit more centered, slowing down just a little bit, taking slower steps. And the Hierophant isn't quick to change. So it almost feels like somebody here is making a decision to change their energy, change their emotions, change their mind, or change the way they were back there. The 2 of Swords tells me that when it's in the reverse, that the decision has already been made, and now I'm on the path. So you could be on that path as the Hierophant. We have the Strength card. It's courage to make a decision after something broke your heart. It could have been a long-term relationship. You could have lost a long-term relationship. Look, it can be a relationship thing. You could have lost a job. You could have been laid off or fired. It feels like whatever this 10 of Pentacles was previously, it feels like it was heartbreaking, I want to say, or disappointing that it didn't work out the way you wanted to. But I promise you, with someone that has a little bit of wisdom and, more time behind them than in front of them, I promise you that sometimes the things that don't work out for you for the best reasons. Because I feel like you're making a decision here to still remain in your courage, even though you're going to be dealing with some sort of disappointment. But I really do feel that this is very interesting, because I was talking about the 111 portal. We have 3 swords, right? To me, those are days. And so it feels like it is literally happening in days. It feels like there is something that you're going to be releasing or be released from, and it's not going to be a very happy thing at first, Gemini, but I think you're going to understand why at a later date. And I mean, that could be a year from now. It could be a day from now. You're going to get some clarity on why things are working out the way that they are. It feels like you will have some sort of an epiphany or a moment of clarity as you plod along here, because I feel like I'm talking to someone who either has a Taurus placement, possibly in the rising, or the Taurus moon will hold you back as well. It will really get you sort of fixated in comfort, right, in your comfort zone. And so I feel like somebody is taking a leap out of the comfort zone, is what it feels like. The decision is made, and I feel like it's a good decision. It feels like with the Strength card here that it takes you a lot of courage to do so, and that you think that the outcome isn't going to be good, but I feel like the outcome is going to be rather healing. We got 3 swords and 1 is 4. And then 2 more is 6. So it's actually taking you out of a place of chaos in the mind or overthinking. And this decision that you've made to slow down in order to be happy and plentiful and abundant, I feel is like the best thing for you. Why is the Hierophant here, please? We've got the 8 of Cups. You're detaching from something here. The 7 of Wands and taking the higher ground. It also feels like it's a big change, maybe in the way you think, or a change in your lifestyle. And it feels like it's something detaching from whatever was back there that wasn't serving you, I feel, is what you're defensive about. It's like, I'm putting up these boundaries. What if these people never come back? And I'm telling you, some of them are not going to come back. But you're going to be able to detach from that emotionally, because I feel like you have a higher calling, is what the Hierophant is telling me. You have a higher calling to teach people about all the things that you know, about all the wisdom that you have. And I feel like it's something that you've decided that you're going to commit to. For some of you, you could be committing to a long-term relationship that you feel is your wish fulfillment. Could be that as well. Tell me about we do have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is telling me that you've done a lot of work on yourself. And that might be why at the beginning you were very fiery and charged about it. And now you've decided to slow down just a little bit, go over the details and not make any mistakes so you don't have to go back again. The Eight of Pentacles is telling me that either you now work for yourself, as I was saying, that maybe you work for yourself, or you have put a lot of work into something. It could be putting a lot of work into upholding these boundaries and detaching from people so you can realign with your spiritual purpose for some of you. And the Eight of Pentacles tells me you've put a lot of work into that. A lot of work. Tell me why the Nine of Cups is here, please. Tell me why the Nine of Cups is here. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Nine of Wands and the High Priestess. Isn't that interesting? Because you go from this place of charging at things, taking risks, moving really quickly, which really didn't give your life a whole lot of stability, to being in the High Priestess energy, which is very thoughtful energy. And it feels like you move, like these are two sort of very contrasting energies to me. One has no stability. I do what I want. I go where I want. I'm just going to start fires here, there, and everywhere and leave it up to them to put out the fires. But the High Priestess is someone who is more inward, someone who is listening to the self, connecting to the universe through tarot, through their psychic energy, through their empathic energy. And then we have the Nine of Wands. And so it feels like this Nine of Cups, this happiness that's here, the wish fulfillment that's here, it feels comes from you slowing down the mind, the thought process, slowing down a little bit so you can actually gain some energy. Ten of Pentacles. So you can gain some energy because the Nine of Wands is more about being exhausted. I feel like the Nine of Wands is a place where you can put down the burdens, and I feel like you are. I feel like you are because you've stopped charging at things, and now you're more thoughtful about things, I want to say. And not in a way where you're getting stuck in the mind, but I feels like you're far more thoughtful. It does feel like you are at the end of some sort of an energetic cycle where you can now put down these burdens. The King carries one wand and the Nine of Wands is here. So it feels like you can now put down the burdens of feeling like you're behind the eight ball, like you're feeling like you're behind everybody, or you feel like you have to run to catch up. I feel like you don't have to, because whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. And I think something is about to show up for you here. Something that is very abundant. And please understand that pentacles are not always just money, but they are energy as well. And so it's an abundance of something. It could be abundance of wealth. It could be a long-term relationship. It could be trust funds you're setting up for family, children. If you don't have children, maybe nieces and nephews. It could be a lot of money, a lot of energy, but just a lot of abundance. And that word covers a lot of things. It can be health, right? Tell me about the Ten of Pentacles, please. Something's about to go very right for you, Gemini, because of all the work you've done and that you've decided to stop running at things and that you are slowing down just a little bit. We've got the Ace of Swords. Look, we have it twice. You've made a decision here. It feels like you've now realized that there's a fork in the road and you've got to take a path this way or that way. It feels like you've had some sort of realization about what is going to make you feel or be the most abundant, or maybe it's a business idea. It could be an epiphany or a business idea. We do have the King of Wands is back. Very interesting, because I didn't clarify that because that's the past energy. We can't change that. There's nothing you can do about that. But then the King of Wands manages to show up in the energy for the week ahead. So I feel like this fire in your heart is back all of a sudden, since you've got clarity and you've decided that it's time for you to go get your 10 pentacles here. There we go. The Empress is abundance. So whether you're feminine or masculine, you can be the Empress. It's Taurus and Libra energy. Something's about to be born. Like it feels like this, for some of you, maybe you're pregnant and having a baby. If you're not the feminine, right? Maybe you're the masculine, and maybe you're creating a business. Something's about to be born. Something brand new that I feel that you've always had a fire in your belly for, that you wanted to create something. fire energy is very creative, right? And it feels like you've always wanted to create this, and whatever it is, this is a 10 of Pentacles energy. It feels like it's either going to make you a lot of money, make you very happy, give you stability. It feels like this is a very abundant time for you. So tell me what the decision is. Tell me about the Two of Swords for Gemini, please. We've got the Strength card. Oh, the decision is this chaos is now behind me. Now I know where I am. Now I've got my footing. Now I am the Hierophant, and in agreeing to be the Hierophant, you've got to do the right thing, because you now have enough knowledge. It's like you can't unsee what you've already seen. So it feels like now that the storm is behind you and you're in control of your thoughts, of your actions, because now you're not moving quick like the King of Wands, you're moving slow like the Hierophant. So what's this decision here? The Two of Cups. So for some of you, this is romantic love, that you've decided you're going to ask somebody out, or you've decided that I'm going to put my energy into maybe spending more time with someone that I love. And it could be platonic love. Please understand, it's not always romantic love. It's two people who agree that we should be commiserating this way. I'm going to share my emotional energy with you because you share your emotional energy with me. I feel like this has taken some courage for you to make this decision, and you had to wait till things were realigned, or realigned with your purpose, the Hierophant. And I feel like you had to wait till things were realigned in order to be able to offer someone your cup. Now, this could be, like I said, platonic, friendship, could be a member of the family, a grandmother, grandfather, right? Anybody that I feel that would benefit from you leaving the storm behind and finding the courage to give somebody, offering someone your emotions. We do have the Queen of Cups. It could be a mother, could be a grandmother, grandfather, father, but the Queen of Cups is somebody who is just very, very deep and very kind and compassionate and loving. Could be the decision that you're making, that I'm no longer going to be running at things, going to be leaving fires all over the place so other people can put them out. I feel like you have become this purpose, the person who is the water instead of the fire. You are now, in fact, putting out the fires. You've realized that making quick decisions wasn't really the thing that was benefiting you. And I feel like this courage here, we've got Strength twice. It's telling me that you found the courage to overcome something that I feel was disappointing or heartbreaking. But understand, it doesn't have to be something someone did to you. It could be some decisions you were making that just weren't in alignment with who you truly are. And I feel like with the Hierophant here, you're coming into alignment with who you truly are. Tell me about the Strength card, please. It's like you knew that you had the sword and you could wield it, right? The sword is the Ace of Swords. You could cut people. You could say things that were cutting. You could just put it out there, and I don't really care how you feel about it, but it feels like you've acquired some strength. And the strength is that I know I have the Ace of Swords on my side. I have it in the sheath, and the strength is not pulling it out and swinging it about, but keeping it in the sheath and taking control of a situation, because you're courageous enough to do that. People see you doing that. The Six of Wands is here, and then we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Tower. So I feel like the reason that you were kind of in this Five of Wands sort of in the pouch, as I was saying, right? Waiting for this. It felt like you were waiting for the slingshot to go, and it was a little bit terrifying. So maybe your mask or your rising sign might be Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, that you tried to put on a brave face for something. And I feel like you no longer have to put on the brave face, because now you are in fact brave. It feels like with this energy here that people notice that change in you here. The Six of Wands tells me that maybe the reason that you were acting out the way that you did, running at things, could have been because of a hardship in the past. Traumatic things happened. This is a person who's come back from the war, come back from the fight, a hard fight, and people are noticing that even though it was traumatic back there, you've become so compassionate that you found the strength to keep this Ace of Swords in the sheath, so you don't have to cut people with your words anymore. Now people see that about you, that even though you've been through hardship, Five of Wands is back, even though it was terrifying for you to sit in the pouch and wait for the slingshot to go, you knew that it was going to obliterate things. There was going to be a shift. There was going to be a change that you had no control over. And I feel like all you could do is be strong. I feel like whatever tower showed up, whatever unexpected shift of energy that came, I feel like it's something that made you strong. So I want to say that sometimes we go through things, right? And we're like, what the hell? Well, what did I do to deserve that? You didn't do anything to deserve that, but you needed the tower to fall so you could pull the pieces back together and build it up stronger. Because it feels like there was something here that was an illusion, or you weren't supposed to be going that way. Tell me about the Three of Swords. And look, it's never easy to get through the tower, and I feel like that's why the tower and the Three of Swords are here. It's disappointing that things had to change and shift, but I feel like it was for your highest good because the Hierophant is here. Tell me about the Three of Swords. We've got the Moon energy. Look, it's an overnight change. Like, I feel like this is an energy of, yeah, I lost that thing, and you're going to have a time to mourn, but I want you to know that it's boom, like that. We go from night to day. We go from this place where we couldn't see anything and it was kind of scary, maybe a little fearful of getting into my feelings, right? Because you're swords, right? So you're always air, you're up in the head. It was a fear of getting into my feelings, but now I've had some sort of a breakthrough that I'm allowed to mourn the things that go. But if we do mourn the things that go, the brighter day is always around the corner, right? We always do have a breakthrough as to why that thing happened. And if we can get the knowledge or the lesson, right? The lesson, the Hierophant, if we can get the spiritual lesson out of that, then it's the suffering stops. Once we see the reasons why it happened logically, the suffering then stops, and we look at it more as a lesson. Tell me more about this. There it is, the Ten of Wands. I feel like you were just carrying a lot of people's stuff. Not only yours, and I feel like you're carrying a lot of your own things, but I feel like you were allowing people to place their burdens upon you. You were carrying burdens for other people. This is something that's changing overnight. And I feel it's because you've gotten into this place of the Hierophant and you're making better boundaries, right? You've got the Nine of Wands here. You're coming out from behind the fear wall and saying to people, I can't do this with you anymore. I can't carry your burdens. I have enough of my own. All right. Got the Four of Pentacles, we've got the Knight of Cups, and we've got the Four of Swords. Some of you are trying to heal. Oh, look at that. We got the King of Swords as well. So you can finally speak your emotions to people. You can finally be a little more emotional. Now, I'm not talking about you who have water in the rising or the moon. I'm talking about you who have a lot of sword energy, or maybe swords and fire, right? Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, or Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. Maybe for you, it was a little bit of a hardship. Maybe you were not vulnerable and not showing your feelings to people. It really is necessary, though. That's the healing that you went through. It's the epiphany that you had. This is really beautiful. Gemini, I'm going to leave that right there. Thank you so much for coming here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to go now, but I'll be back because I'm always back because I love you too much to stay away. Bye-bye.